Hey friends, it's Daniel, and today I want to discuss one of my favorite magical tools, which is the wand. And I'm going to show you a few examples of them that I have. So this one right here is my favorite magical wand. I did not make this. This was given to me. I've probably had this one for 10, 15 years. I don't know what type of wood most of these wands are. Some people put a lot of emphasis on different woods and use for different things. I don't, but again, so this is my favorite one. I have this one, which by the way is just a large knitting needle. I bought this at, I think, Hobby Lobby, and I just liked the way it looked, and I've used it as a wand occasionally. This one is a forked stick, and it's used for blasting, although I almost never use it. Blasting, let's see, I also have a crystal wand. This one I made in high school, and it's crystal tips and wrapped in copper wire. It is more, let's see, I also have this one, which is another, more of a, almost like a staff. It's too small to be a staff and too big to be a wand, so I don't know what you want to call it. This little staff right here, and then I have another one, and then I have a dozen other sticks, okay, or other ones in crystals that I use. So what do I use the wand for? Now for me, the wand is a tool of invocation. So when I'm calling upon a deity or a spirit, it's used to call upon that deity. It's also a tool of projection. So I'm using it to project my energy, my aura to a certain thing. So if I want to, it's a way of being very specific about my energy, targeting that energy. Very much like if you're using a hammer to hit the nail in, it's more precise. Now if I use a big rock, I could get that hammer in. So the tool almost acts like a laser, kind of, or maybe like a surgeon's scalpel. It helps make things more precise, helps the energy flow a little better, because I always say magic follows the path of least resistance. So what this does, it helps focus in that energy, so there's less resistance. So it makes it a lot easier to get the energy that you're working with. So you can use the wand as a way, as what I do a lot of times when I'm working with just energy opposed to deity, is I'm pulling up the energy of the earth through my feet, all the way through my body, and then I'm projecting it to my arms, and I use the wand as a way to make it be more precise. So if I'm sending long distance healing energy, because another way I think I would do with this is drawing sigils in the air over objects. So I may use it to help focus my energy on creating a ward, over a window or a door, and making that ward with my energy. So lots of different. You can also use this. It helps if you're charging another object. This can really help move that energy. So if you have a candle or something like that, the wand is a tool to make it more precise and more refined. Anciently, the wand was a symbol for authority, kingship, priesthood. So you often see kings with scepters. That is basically a wand. It's a symbol for the healer. It is a symbol. I can't remember who the Greek god of healing is, and he has that little scepter with the two serpents over it. So it's also a symbol for healing, and so it's also used in healing work. So when we're using our energy over healing someone, we can literally help focus that energy again, much like a surgeon's scalpel. It could also be a tool for cursing. So I don't do that work myself, but it's something that can be done. That's actually what this hat, I don't actually use this for, but this is what a hat, what is, I call blasting. And I use 2 prongs to represent that. Not really something I do in my personal practice, but something I know how to do. I choose not to. And so I'm not going to really share how that's done. It's not something that I endorse. But it's also used for blessing. So a wand could be used to bless a person or an object. It's a symbol for that divine priesthood. So we often see Jesus, when he resurrects Lazarus, using a wand, and that's a symbolic of Jesus' authority as the Son of God, calling back life. So when we have the wand in our hand, we are saying that we, like as a Christian, we would say we have the universal priesthood of God, of all believers. So the wand is a tool of priesthood. It's a tool of kingship, of rulership, of our own personal sovereignty, that we are sovereign of our personal path, if you believe in that kind of thing. Many Druidic traditions see the wand as a way of connecting to the spirits of nature. In a more shamanistic world, the wand is a symbol of the world tree, and it is a means of traveling between the upper world, the middle world, and the underworld. In Wiccan traditions, it's also used to cast a magic circle, which is set between the worlds as a protection, the temple of the deity. The wand is also used for a lot. Well, it's used for so much. I just don't have time to go over it all. The wand is, Wiccans often use this to draw down the powers of the moon or the sun into themselves, or they may literally use it as a way of, they will draw down literally the goddess into the high priestess. It is a symbol of invocation and pulling that energy in, or that deity into a specific person, so that they could speak forth prophecy. Or in most Wiccan traditions, they will speak the charge of the goddess. So the wand has lots of use. It also can be used as a phallic symbol. So it can represent the male mysteries. So if you're a male witch, the wand could have very specific energies, although not all magic traditions put a gender on the wand. So this is more neo-pagan idea that the wand is a phallic symbol, although there are phallic, I think, wands in ancient history. I don't have a whole lot of resources on what is that, but you can look that up. I'm sure you can Google it. So if you're a gay man, also this could be a very powerful magical tool for you. How would you use the wand? The first thing I would do, whenever you get a piece of wood, you want to neutralize any energies. Some people call this cleansing, and you could use smoke, all kinds of stuff. I use simply just sweeping motions. And I just try to visualize and pull out any unnecessary energies, move it out of the tool in a sweeping motions. Then I'm going to charge the wand. Again, there's all kinds of Slavic rituals. I just hold it in my hands and I visualize it surrounded in white light. And then I give it a purpose. When you charge something, you're pulling it. So the purpose of my wand is to help direct whatever intention I'm sending through it. So I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to visualize it filled with white light. And I'm basically going to tell it. And then what I like to do is breathe life into it. As a Christian witch, we know one of the Hebrew words for God, which is, I'm not going to even try to pronounce it, I'm not very good, means breath or spirit. So we're breathing the breath of life. I think in the New Testament it's called pneuma, that breath, that life, that spirit. So we're literally going to breathe. We see Jesus literally breathing the Holy Spirit on people in some of the Gospels. So I will breathe. So I'm getting rid of all negatives and I'm consecrating it. So I work with my energy and my breath. And then I'm going to use it in my ritual work. And this could be as simple as me standing or sitting and pulling up that energy. And then I'm going to focus it with that energy, with my mind, and sending it out through the wand to do what I want to do. So if I want to send healing to somebody, I'm going to lift my hands up in the direction of the person, who's belongs, and I'm going to literally visualize that energy sending like a laser beam to that person. If I want to use it to ward something away, I can literally visualize it pulling this and like forming almost like a shield in front of me. So that's one way. You could use it to attract things, to pull things to you. So in that sense, instead of sending it out, you can visualize it like a tractor beam pulling something toward you. So if you're wanting prosperity or money, you're literally pulling that energy towards you. So then also some ways you could use the wand. There were so many more. The wand has literally been used for a millennium. Probably, I don't know, since ancient times there have been people using scepters and wands and staffs in magical things. Even in the Bible, we see Moses, who uses a staff to part the Red Sea. Actually, I think it's Aaron. I'm not sure, all those things, which is, of course, this is a symbol in the Old Testament of the world tree, the Asherah, the sacred feminine, actually. So even though I normally would say this is the masculine symbol, in some cultures, the wand is a feminine symbol, because the world tree is seen as feminine. So it can have that, depending on what you want, you using it for, and that intent, the symbolism can be used for either. Although I don't tend to put any gender on my magical tools like I did in my early days. But if I was going to, then were things I could use in different contexts. So there were some basic things that you could use the wand for in your magical practice. And again, there's so much more. Again, you can get into different types of works, like different types of wood can be used for different things, like apple for love, I think hazel for wisdom. There's just a bunch of other ones that I think hawthorn is used for blasting and cursing. There's just a bunch of different ones that could be used for a lot of different reasons in your practice. I don't put a whole lot of emphasis on what kind of wood it is, or even if it is wood. Like I said, I also use crystals, and different crystals, wands. Like this is a rose quartz, so it could be used for love. Clear quartz can be used for anything, and it's just like different ones can be used for different purposes based on what you're using it for. But the wands are just beautiful, and I have many more. I just didn't want to dig them all up. Many blessings, my friend.